There was a time when football games tried anything. Not new tactics, not better physics, just controversy. This is a football game with absolutely no football involved, no matches and no goal. Instead, it asks one simple question. What if the worst part of football culture was the whole game? So here we are on a retro football channel talking about a game that didn't really have much to do with football, but very loosely. This is Hooligans, Storm Over Europe, a game so strange, so forgotten that most people remember the name, but not actually what it was. To understand this game, you have to rewind all the way back to the early 2000s. Football games were booming, Pro Evo was rising, FIFA was everywhere, and developers were desperate to stand out. At the same time, football culture was still shaking off its darker reputation. Hooliganism hadn't fully faded from the headlines, especially across Europe. Films, tabloids and documentaries were obsessed with it. Somewhere along the way, someone asked a question that probably should have stayed unasked. If we made a game about that? Not the football, not the fans, just the violence around it. Despite what the box art suggests, this isn't a sports game, it's a top-down brawler mixed with light strategy, loosely based on going to a football match. You choose a hooligan firm from a different European city. Each one has stats, strength, speed, intimidation, just like a football squad. Except instead of midfielders, you're recruiting blokes in jackets. The aim, control areas, start fights, avoid police and win dominance across Europe. Not the Champions League, the hooliganism of Europe. There are no matches, no stadium atmosphere, no tactics balls, just streets, pubs, train stations and chaos. On paper this sounded edgy. In practice, well, it's a bit awkward to be honest. Controls feel stiff, combat's clumsy, animations just loop endlessly. Most of the gameplay boils down to move group, start fight, retreat when police arrive, repeat. There's very little depth and even less progression. After 20 minutes you've basically seen everything the game has to offer, which makes the whole thing feel less than a bold statement and more like a budget experiment that ran out of ideas. Here's the interesting part. This game didn't fail just because of controversy, it failed because it just wasn't very good. The shock factor carried it into magazines and conversations, but once people actually played it, there was nothing underneath it. No narrative, no meaningful choices, and no reason to come back. Strip away the subject matter and you're left with a shallow brawler that feels unfinished. And this is why the game just disappeared. It wasn't banned everywhere, it wasn't pulled from the shelves in dramatic fashion, it just quietly died. Football games moved forward, developers got smarter, and the ideas of celebrating hooliganism became increasingly uncomfortable. Today this game feels like a time capsule of poor judgment, a reminder that not even an edgy idea deserves a controller. So my question to you is, could a game be made like this now? Honestly, not a chance. Not because people are softer, but because people expect more depth, more responsibility and more thought. This game doesn't critique hooliganism, it just doesn't explore it, it just uses it, and that's the difference. Hooligans across Europe isn't evil, it's just misinformed, it's just forgotten for a reason. A strange footnote in football gaming history, a reminder of an era when shock was mistaken for substance, and maybe that's why it's fascinating to revisit today. Not because it was great, but because it existed at all. So if you remember this game, or played it back in the day, let me know in the comments. Am I wrong? Am I harshly criticising it? Did you actually enjoy it? And if you enjoy digging up football games history tried to forget, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.